Uh, you know, some writings in the form of beautiful stories are coming out of stillness. And I've been just writing without any agenda. But the moment I had an idea about improving this as a craft, because I'm not a trained, experienced writer, I felt there was some boundary to this stillness and creativity. Obviously, I am applying the character, which I have onto these writings, but sourcing something, as a toolkit to improve this craft, I'm not able to understand that pretty well. And also the sources through which I'm trying to borrow these toolkits, they're very goal oriented, which I don't connect to at all. So I just wanted to hear something from you on this, expressing truth in the form of art of writing.
Well, truth can be expressed through writing, as you well know from your own experience, both of writing and of reading. The source of truth that is expressed through writing, of course, cannot be studied objectively. It cannot be refined. It cannot be improved. But the form it takes can be refined. And if you find that sources that you are going to improve or refine your writing skills are very goal orientated, then simply find other sources. Plenty of people, I say plenty, there are a number of people, very fine writers, who are not goal orientated. You could find someone. I would encourage you to keep trying to find some help to refine the craft of writing that isn't goal orientated. You're right to be wary goal orientated approach. So you just have to look more carefully. Don't keep looking. Don't give up till you find someone that is not goal orientated. Who and they would have to be someone who was sensitive to what you want to write about, and that had some feeling for it. And would so I would encourage you to keep trying to find someone because writing is a skill, an art form, can be refined.
Okay.
So keep trying to find someone that can help you with that.
Sure. I will. Rupert, this is again a very object-oriented question, but is there any source which you could, direct me to? Because I love reading Rumi and Khalil Gibran, you, and many other authors, but I'm not finding a source which could guide me. How do I refine with this perspective?
You mean a source who could guide you as to how to express your understanding?
Not express, but refine.
To define.
Refine.
So the short answer to your question, Ashwin, is that I don't know anyone who is in the field of in writing. Where do you live, Ashwin?
Bangalore.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anyone particularly in that field, so I can't help you directly with that. But another, and this is a more internal way, the more you read, if you read really good literature, good writers, that will, if you steep yourself in their works, that will be an internal way of refining your writing. So if you can't find anyone, or if you don't find anyone for a while, choose the writers that speak about these matters that you really love.
Okay.
Read them, saturate yourself in their works, and then write yourself. And then you can go back to their works, read their works, and read your own work, and then ask yourself, what is it that is missing? Why do I feel that something is still lacking in my work? When I read their work, their work feels luminous with understanding and beauty and poetry, but there's something, I don't feel that in my work, or not consistently at least. There may be brief passages that you're happy with. And in this way, go back and forth between your writing and their writing. And just the process of doing that, without your realizing it, refine your skill. When I was, before I started speaking about these matters, I used to make pots for 30 years or so. And particularly when I was younger, all during my late teens and 20s and early 30s, wherever I was in the world, I would always go and visit museums. Always go and look at the ceramic collections. I did exactly what I've suggested to you, but in the Chinese and Korean and Japanese departments in national museums all over the world, looking at works of art that I admired. Not just with pots, but mainly with pots. Looking at works of art that I admire, going back to my studio, looking at the work that I was making, asking myself, what is it that my work doesn't have? Pieces have. What is missing? And then I would go back to my studio, try again. Then I would look at the results again and think, oh, maybe a little taste of something, but it's not. And then I would go back to the museum. So I would go back and forth between the two. And this at a pre-verbal, at a subliminal level, I was, without even realizing it, the way I was looking was being refined by the objects that I was looking at, and this translated itself gradually into my own work.
Okay.
Literature and read the great poets, Shakespeare and well, you have so many people in your own tradition, but read very widely.
Sure.
This will, without your realizing it, it will refine the art of expression and writing in you.
Perfect. Really appreciate. Thank you very much.
It must be early in the morning in India.
Not really. It's night.
It's night. What time is it in India now?
It's 2:50.
It's on?
Around 10.
Okay, not too bad. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was later than that.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwin. Ashwin, while you're still there,
Yes.
do you know, sorry, just in that pause, somebody came to mind. Do you know David White's work? Called David White, Whyte.
Sure.
Quite a nice poet in his own right, but he speaks very nicely about poetry.
Okay.
And there are, so I would recommend that you listen to him, read him. That there are various audio books and talks that he's given, and he's got a deep love of poetry and a feel for poetry, and he speaks very nicely about writing and poetry, and you might enjoy him.
Sure. Thank you very much. Sorry.